G'day, Nigel here. I run an executive leadership coaching practice. And in a previous video, I talked a little bit about the effects of blame and guilt and fear and judgment from leaders on their people and on the culture of the organisation and how unproductive that is. There'll be a link in the description here to that video. This is an extension of that because I want to talk today about the influence of low emotional intelligence in the people themselves, whether they're employees or colleagues, and the role that plays. So high emotional intelligence leaders talk about ideas and concepts rather than use blame and guilt and fear and judgment in the conversation. So they're trying to solve problems, and that's a great way to go. But sometimes the people that they're talking to who have maybe been in a culture where it's been a high blame culture for a long time, high judgment culture for a long time, have habituated this self-protective way of being. And they find it really difficult to separate an idea from themselves or an action from their own sense of value. So you as a leader might go to them and say, hey, this part of the process isn't working, or there's been a bit of a mix-up here or a problem here, and you're talking about the problem. You're not really thinking about blame and guilt of the people. You're trying to solve the problem because that's what leaders do. Right? But the person can't decouple or separate the idea or the problem from themselves. So from their perspective, it looks like an attack and it feels like an attack, even though it isn't. All right? And when a person feels like they're being attacked, what do? Well, naturally they adopt a self-protective mindset. And this mindset means that I am incrementally, or depending on how serious I feel exposed here and vulnerable here, I am closed, I'm inflexible, I'm argumentative, I procrastinate, I minimise, go, yeah, that's not really a big problem, I undermine the problem and don't take it as seriously. And so I get in my own way, basically. And this is a real challenge, especially for highly habituated cultures where blame and guilt and fear and judgment is rife within the culture. They are the four big bads in my view for corporate culture: blame, guilt, fear, judgment. And they operate at a leadership level and they're driven by the leadership level. But if you've had a culture or an individual who's been experiencing this and living this way for a long time, they're going to need a fair bit of support and training and coaching to lift them out of this this context where every idea is a personal attack. This is why emotional intelligence is such a powerful and such an important part of building dynamism and building energy and building productivity into your team. Hope that's helped. Let me know how you think or what you think about that. Any challenges or ideas, happy to answer a few questions. Just give me a buzz. Cheers.